Hello YouTube, welcome back to Montreal. It's a sunny Sunday afternoon. Peak summer is here. So I thought it'd be cool to do another pretty spontaneous walking video. Give you another look at this beautiful Mont Royal Avenue, which has been opened to the pedestrians of this neighborhood. I've talked about this in other videos before. I'll talk about it again because I really think it's a win-win. It's good for tourists, it's good for locals, it's good for businesses. More cities need to do this. I can think of specific places in Winnipeg where I grew up that would highly benefit from pedestrianizing, at least in the summertime, you know. Winter can be tough, but at least for a couple months in the summer, open it up, brings the neighborhood together, gets people out of the house, and it's just a great thing. Got some music up here on the right. Today is actually the last day of June, which means tomorrow something important is happening. And if you guessed Canada Day, you're close. Canada Day is on the 1st of July. But more specifically, there's something else that happens that people in this city care about a bit more than Canada Day, I would venture to guess. It's a uniquely Montreal tradition that if you know the answer to, you've probably lived here before. It's moving day. That's right, on the 1st of July, the vast majority of the apartment leases begin and end. I mean, I'm talking upwards of 80% of the people here start and end their lease on the exact same day, July 1st. I don't know how that tradition got started. I know, of course, that it's tough to move in the wintertime when it's snowy and cold, so most people do that. But other Canadian cities have equal amounts of snow and they don't all move on the same day like Montreal does. So it's just kind of one of those quirks, those unique cultural things that built up here. And so tomorrow, maybe I'll actually film some of it, though I'm actually going to be helping a friend move, so you know, just to show you, everyone knows someone, everyone's either moving or knows someone moving on the 1st of July. But yeah, I'm actually going to be helping someone move, and what I was going to say is that all of the moving trucks that people might want to rent to help with the move need to be booked like months in advance. You know what I mean? Because everyone is moving. And the streets of my neighborhood and most neighborhoods around the city, I mean, it's just rows of moving trucks and Yeah, it's just, it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing they do here. And I've been thinking about making a little video about it, so maybe I will try to film something, go a bit deeper into it. But I will say, in addition to all that, that if you are someone who is on a bit of a budget, let's say you're a student, or let's just say, you know, you're someone who just doesn't like spending a lot of money on furnishing your house, I would include myself in that group. You can find some amazing freebies on the street on July 1st. And again, depending on who you are, where you're from, you know, that might sound like a great idea or a terrible idea. People have different reactions to thrifting or to, I mean, like, listen, I remember before I moved to Montreal, I vividly remember this, in fact. When I was younger, I was living in Vancouver, and near where I lived, it was called a free corner. There was a corner where people just like left stuff for free. Mattresses, chairs, whatever. And I just thought, okay, all of that's gonna have bed bugs, all of that's gonna be gross, like something is really wrong with all that stuff. And so I never went near that free corner. But now, after I've experienced a few moving days in Montreal, I realize not only is nothing wrong with some of the stuff, but some of it, like, people are getting rid of, like, people are moving into apartments where the other person just left a bunch of stuff, or, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes people pass away, you know, who knows what the situation was, but because there's so much moving, there's a lot of people who just don't want to deal with all this stuff, and it goes on the street, and you can find, like, antique dressers and like amazing artwork and tables. And my old place, I found my dresser, which was like a fully built $300 to $400 IKEA dresser that, I'm not even kidding, it looked like it was new. I actually left it on the street for a while to make sure I wasn't like stealing a dresser from someone who like hadn't lifted it into their place yet. And then like I eventually confirmed with with the building owners, like, you're getting rid of this? They're like, yeah. So who knows why? I guess they just wanted to pass on the dresser to someone new. And yeah, that someone new was me. And since then, since I moved, I left that dresser at my old apartment because I knew it was a student moving in, and yeah, she was on her own, and I know how difficult it can be when you've arrived in a city to an empty apartment, so I figured, circle of life. Give and you shall receive. Receive something and give it back, and you have completed your journey. Now obviously you can see like this one. I mean, again, that looks like perfectly fine up there, but obviously there's some structural issues. So maybe they took that apart to show that it's like kind of broken. But this is the day before moving day, so I was just like randomly going over to show you that, to show you that it has begun. It's like the first drops of a storm that's coming. Picture like that times 100 on like every second block of the city. But for now, the day continues. We had a crazy rain day yesterday. Hopefully moving day won't be rainy, because that will put a damper, no pun intended, on a lot of people's experience. And it's a bit less fun getting free stuff when it's all wet, so fingers crossed that the weather gods are on Montreal's side tomorrow. Nice ice cream shop across the street. Le Blue Boy. I'll give you a little history lesson in Dan's life. When I first moved to Montreal, it was very close to here. And I remember, like literally it might have even been this street. Because I remember me and my then girlfriend looking at a place down the street. Oh, this is actually a really embarrassing story. Should I tell the whole story? Okay, I guess I've started. I have to tell it. So picture this, like we're new to Montreal. We had found some short-term accommodation, but we were looking for a place to live for a year. Going through the process of looking at a lot of different places. Bad apartment after bad apartment. Finally, somewhere down there, maybe even that street, we found a place that, I mean, it was a bit small, but overall, like, very good deal, very good location. Had a nice little backyard area. And it was us, and then there was another old man with his son, I think. And we were there first, and we just, I guess we didn't understand how things worked, because we were like, I mean, you know, me and my partner, we were, you know, it's hard to speak honestly when you're in front of the owner of the place. So we were kind of like looking at each other, being like, yeah, like nodding a bit, like this looks good. But we didn't get to have a conversation about it. We told him like, yeah, we're definitely interested. We're gonna take a little walk and think about it. And he said, okay, sure thing. And he'd even like hinted to us, you know, you were first, you were here before the other people. So if you want it, like you're first in line. But then when we left and we went to that ice cream place, that's why this is all coming back to me right now. We sat outside that ice cream place and we had an ice cream and we were like, this is our neighborhood now. We did it. We're gonna tell him we want the place. And we're having our celebratory ice cream. We're feeling so great about it. I text the guy back. It's been like 20 minutes have passed, you know, like no time has passed at all. And I'm like, hey man, like, I didn't say hey man, but you know, I'm like, hey, we talked about it and we want it. Tell us like, when can we give you the deposit? We're interested, we want the apartment. And he messages back, oh no, Dan, you left. You left, I just took the deposit from the guy with his dad, I'm sorry, you left. And I was like, you left? We were like, we're interested, we're just gonna talk. Like, I didn't realize like literally in the next 10 minutes, frankly, as soon as we walked out the door, the next people were gonna poach it. And poach it they did. And I share that story, even though it's rather embarrassing, it shows. But what do you guys think it shows? Because I feel like if I were in that guy's position, I would have been like, okay, well, let me just like check back on the couple who just walked down the street. If they don't want it, it's yours. I guess he did kind of pull a fast one on us a bit, but I think my lesson was, it just showed me like there's no being friendly when it comes to housing, and there's no time to second guess sometimes. If you see it and you like it and it feels right, act. But you know what? In the end, we found an apartment and it was even cheaper and it was even bigger. So did it take another month, at which point we were at sometimes pulling out a hair thinking, are we ever going to find a place? Yes. I won't deny that it was a difficult time. But as we are on the subject of moving day, let's just remember, for anyone going through that stressful time of moving, keep your head up, you know, there's hope. And also, it's kind of like a job interview. Like, you don't want to be seeming defeated when you're going to the showings. If you're like, oh, I've been 100 places, I haven't found some place, like, oh, I hate this city. Well, that person's not going to want to rent to you, because they're going to be like, oh, this person's cursed. There's some red flag I haven't seen yet. I'm not renting to this guy, you know? So, just remember, impressions can make a big deal. And just like that, my friends, we have come to the end of the walking portion of Mont Royal Avenue. Maybe I'll walk a couple more blocks because there's a nice view of the mountain up ahead. Big park, as you can see, just at the end of this street. Okay, I'm going to jaywalk. Pretty nice cafe over there, Cafe Myriad. Nice balcony. Usually it's full of people. I guess people are just either in the sun or maybe, as I was saying with moving day, maybe a lot of people are just, uh-oh, she just lost her hat. Oh. Okay, okay, she got it. Good driver, good driver. I was thinking for a moment there of being a good Samaritan and running out and grabbing it. But I just felt like she was close enough that she had it under control. Anyway, what was I talking about before the random hat moment? Oh yeah, I was saying maybe the terrace is a bit emptier because people are actually doing their moving day as well. And then this just reminded me, this is some kind of Portuguese festival, which has passed actually. But that just reminded me that there's music, there's a huge festival happening downtown too. There's Montreal Jazz Festival, so I was at that Friday night. Had a good old time. Actually won VIP tickets really randomly. Guys, if any Montrealers are watching this, go to the Jazz Festival, and if you see a giant wheel, I think it's hosted by Lotto Quebec. If you see a giant wheel with a lineup of people, just spin the wheel. You know, it might be a 5-minute lineup to line up or whatever. Spin the wheel, because you have a chance to win VIP tickets, which gets you, I mean, it's amazing. It gets you like the best seats in the house to see the main stage. You can even get free beer in there. You can get like, though to be fair, they were out of the free beer when I got there. But they had free popcorn, they had beer that you could pay for. Anyway, the point is, if you see a giant wheel, never hurts to give it a spin. And if you see a beautiful day, it never hurts to take a walk. And if you see a free dresser on the side of the road on moving day, it never hurts to take a look. How's that for a conclusion? Wrapping it all together. As I show you this beautiful day. There's actually something cool happening on the other side of that mountain. It's called the Tam Tams. It's a big drum circle. And oh, I'm very tempted to go see it. I was gonna end the video here and I was gonna bike back the way I came. But now we've gone too far. It's already on its way. The train has left the station. I'll show you guys the jazz. I'll show you guys the. I almost said the jazz festival. I'll show you guys the drum circle. It's pretty cool in Montreal. I don't know why I'm forgetting how to talk here. It's a pretty cool Montreal tradition, which has been going on every Sunday for decades. I actually made a full video about about the Tam Tams a couple years ago. If you search Montreal, the new travel Tam Tams, it'll be the first one that comes up on YouTube if you want to learn more. I would say, like, if you have kids who like to hear music, I would say the Tam Tams is an all ages event. Your only concern might be like the smell of marijuana, you know, but I consider it a very open-minded place. And an interesting part of Montreal culture, so here we are. At the monument, if you're trying to look this place up, it's called the Monument à Sir Georges Etienne Cartier. And before I show you the drums, just a quick idea of like how enormous this place is. Like, we're here. That walk that felt like it took forever, I went from there to here. And this is the park. So it's deceptive. It looks like a few trees, but it goes on and on and on. And this drum circle's been going on and on and on as well. So let's go capture some of the vibes. cool is that? I hadn't been here in a while. I wasn't sure how busy Tam Tams would be, but looks like it's continuing on beautifully. Nice little view of the skyline. If you are visiting Montreal and you want a nice Sunday walk, you can literally follow what I did from Mont Royal to the park. This is called Park Avenue, by the way. You can take Park Avenue all the way down. You're gonna have McGill on your side, and then you're gonna go all the way to downtown, and always lots to do there, including the Jazz Festival. No shortage of activities in this great city. And I want to thank you for joining me today on this little look at Montreal. I would film more here. I might just sit here and like listen to a couple songs. I always think it's good when you have a camera just to like, you know, take some photos, take some short little video clip, but then like if you want to be part of it, be part of it, you know. Don't just stick a camera in strangers' faces all day. Like get in there and enjoy it, feel the vibe. I'm gonna listen to a song or two. As always, I'm Dan. Hope you enjoyed this vlog. I'll catch you next time. Peace.